I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
You shouldn't be admitting that.
At least I'm honest. I'm an expert.
Guru Ninja. Good morning, folks. Welcome to Marketing Beat. My name is, and I own an online advertising agency that specializes in pay-per-click advertising. And since everyone's been asking, yes, we are accepting new clients. And this is my co-host.
Hello, I'm Beverley Theresa. I specialize in social media marketing. I do have room for new clients, but no one's asking. So I'll just show you. Today, what are we talking about, Ameet?
That's your topic, but we're talking about marketing in the off season.
Yeah, so I wanted to do marketing in the off season, not just because someone, Danny Taylor in the UK, my SEO bro, recommended it as a topic, but also like it's summer, so it's the slow season for lots of different types of industries. Like I know for commercial real estate or real estate in general, it's kind of the slow season because no one is like looking for things or off on vacation and doing whatever with their family. And like if you are a snowplower, obviously it's your off season. So what can you do in the meantime while you wait for your busy season to start? Okay, you're not going to say anything?
Well, I'm waiting for you to ask like a question-ish thing. You're basically making statements at this point.
Okay, well, what do you do when you're in a seasonal low or a lull? Like when you have more time on your hands to do stuff?
In the past, I've generally just generated more content. It's just more stuff up on that stuff.
Yeah, and I think like that now's the time to focus on it, and like now's the time to plan ahead for when it gets busy, because when you're busy, you're not going to have time to write blog posts. You're not going to have time to push out content, or like enough time to dedicate to these things. So I would focus, like just in general, overarching umbrella, what is it called? That, you know, that Terminator company that from the movie that owns all the businesses under it?
Parent?
Never mind. The Umbrella Corporation. I think it's actually the name. Umbrella Corporation. Just like overall, work on things that you don't have time to work on during your busy season. I know that sounds like, oh, okay, obvious Beverly. But still, yeah, Skynet, exactly. Skynet-wise, and then the other corporations underneath Skynet would be growing your database. So making sure that you are, well, like before the season starts, the slow season starts, I'd continue growing my database, but like don't forget about social media and don't forget about email marketing, because even though people are busy, it might be your slow season, you still want to remain top of mind to people. So you don't want them to just forget about you until they actually like need you. And I like to just like send out little keep in touch emails. Like I'm going to start focusing more on my email marketing and building other projects that I'm working on. So like the slow seasons suck, but there's always time to do other things now. And then asking customers for reviews, they'd probably be in a better mood because it's summertime. Like making sure that you're gathering their stories and testimonials while they're still fresh, and then you can start using those reviews on your website, or like if they leave a Google review, that's really good because it'll help your website rank, right? Am I just making things up?
It helps in the map pack the last time I checked.
Okay. And then like how can you twist around content to be relatable and applicable to your off season? So if summer is your slow season, maybe you write a blog post that's like, for me, ways to only spend an hour a week on social to enjoy your summer, or something dumb. Or like how can, or like, no, I can't even think off the top of my mind. I'm like the worst.
You could do like, so my brother's in-laws own orchards. So
Okay.
right now they're in their busy season, and then the winter is when it's a slow season for them, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So in that instance, they could maybe create content around like fruits that can withstand the winter,
Oh, yeah.
or um, like foods that grow in the winter, maybe, because they
Yeah.
obviously don't grow things during the winter. So for them, they could probably tell their potential clientele, like, these vegetables grow really well in the winter, something along those lines.
Yeah. And like maybe how to prep your plants for the cold season or
Yeah,
something.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Basically, just become a hub for clients to get information from. The
Yeah.
slow season.
And really like you just want to provide as much value as you can, and like now's the time. I always talk about like planning content, but now's the time to actually get out those planning spreadsheets or calendar, whatever you're using, and plan out content. So because it's your slow season, figuring out what you're going to be talking about during busy season and what's more popular during that time to talk about, and then actually having the time to create that content, and then scheduling all the tweets or all the social shares around it. So if you're doing a blog post, if you know a blog post is going to go out in September about back to school social media or something, making sure you have all the tweets around it scheduled. And you can do that like with WordPress. If you schedule out your post, you can get that URL or permalink, whatever, and then you can actually use that and schedule out everything around that link, which is like really
So
good.
you should stay active on social throughout the year, regardless of
Yeah.
if you're not.
And like you don't have to be super active, but like don't let your accounts die just because like I'm going on vacation for 2 months, which would be really nice. I'm going on vacation for 2 months, and I know that my clients are all on vacation too, and they're probably not checking. But it's like people are sitting around, and like there's people like me who are like, I'm on summer vacation, but I'm still going to check my phone. I'm still going to check social media. I'm going to be tweeting about my vacay. So you still want to keep top of mind with those people, and like people will be looking at their phones. It's not like just because it's slow for your services or products, it's not like people just die during that time and then they come back to life.
That's true. Yeah, no, I get that. So would that also stand when it comes to email marketing as well then?
Yeah, I mean, people are still looking at their emails. Like, people don't just like stop working. Does that make sense? Yeah. And so it's an easy way to get people to subscribe. So now that you have time, maybe you work on that lead magnet or white paper that you were thinking of producing and do some ads around it. Like your loyal customers or your dedicated customers, like your number one fans, they'll still like check their email and read your emails. You can also like, for one of the people I follow, like this coach consultant lady I follow, she's doing 10 days of summer. So every day for 10 days, she's putting out one of her ebooks or like a report thing, and everything's like on sale. Like instead of $2.99, you're going to spend $99 or something. So she has a deal every single day. So you could structure something like that for your own products or your own services. I think that's a good idea because it incorporates summer. And then she also like changed the name of some of her ebooks and reports to include the word summer. So yeah, and she like refreshed the covers too to reflect that it's summer.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's another thing too, like with realtors and people who have like timely photos, who have photos of products, whatever, like now's the time to take summer photos. Like if you don't already have them, for some reason you didn't take them in the spring, take your photos now for your listings, because a lot of realtors, like if you're looking on MLS, you'll see that they still have winter pictures up, and I'm like, but the house looks nicer with no snow. So think about doing that and like all the types of things related to that you could be doing while you have all this extra time. But I think like, I don't mind, like for me right now, it's kind of slow, but I don't mind it because I have so much other stuff that I want to work on.
Exactly.
So yeah, I feel like I went through everything.
Did you?
I think so.
What about like offering sales and discounts and stuff like that though?
Yeah, so the 10 days of summer thing, you could do something similar to that. Sales and discounts, because then it's like you're off season, so you still want to get sales, and you still want to have leads and prospects coming in. So you could do like a summer like the 10 days of summer thing, or you could do something where it's just like, if you wear flip-flops to the store, get $10 off or something silly. And like, how can you incorporate summer or the season into your marketing, and actually give people incentive to shop now versus later? Because like, since you're not so busy, you could offer a discount because you know that you'll be quicker at doing certain tasks for people, or products that are in the off season, like a snowblower. Like, why don't you buy one at the end of summer instead of waiting until the winter actually starts, or air conditioners and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Let me think. How about like creating hype during, or like, well, not hype, like creating more demand for your product during the off season? Like, how do you go about doing that?
I would.
Well, you're like busier during your busy season.
How would I create hype for my product during the off season? So, I mean, I guess it depends on what your product or your service is. Again, like if you're like a landscaper, but it's winter time and you don't do like winter activities for people's houses, like shoveling and stuff, you can talk about like when spring comes, like, because spring would be a busy time for landscapers. When spring comes, here's the flowers you want to plant or something, or here's how to make sure that you rake your lawn properly in preparation for winter and stuff. And so if you do rake lawns and things like that, then that's like a service people can use from you. And then like creating hype or whatever is kind of like, okay, well, spring is coming. Here's some new ideas for like a fountain feature in your backyard or something. I don't know why I chose landscaping, because I don't know anything about landscaping.
Well, what about something more related? Not more relatable, but I mean, like, what about something for like either one of us?
Oh, well,
like, let's say seasonality wise, we get busier at the start of the season than we do in the middle of the year. So how could we use the middle of the year to create more business that will come in for the new year?
You could like email nurturing campaigns. So like while you're in the busy season and when everyone is like wanting your services, you can also like release something of value, collect their email, and then be marketing to them. And then when the slow season comes, that like you've been in contact with them, so you're not just trying to sell them something. You've actually like nurtured and built a relationship with them. So when the slow season comes, they're more likely to work with you, because you're building up that rapport during the busy season. And like people like don't really know, like if I was to work with a digital marketer or like someone like a web designer, I wouldn't know when their slow season is. So, I mean, you should be doing these things anyway, like doing email nurturing and stuff, but like for the most part, I think like the end of the year is more busier for me, just because accounting is done, or they have like their marketing spend. But yeah, there's like, how often should you post evergreen content? So for me, I use Missing Letter, which is like that tool where like it will pull quotes from your article, from your blog post, and then it has like an automated schedule, just because I don't want to do it manually, which is annoying. So like for me, I think I share it the day I publish it, the day after, and then a couple days later. And like I have stuff scheduled in for the next year. And so like, because if it's still relevant, like evergreen content is supposed to be like relevant. So making sure that like a year from now, like next summer, the thing about Facebook advertising or whatever is still relevant. If it's still going to be relevant, then schedule it out for as long as you can, or because you want to make sure that you stretch that content. And also, like, now's the time too, you can repurpose it. So maybe you did a blog post and maybe your audience likes listening to podcasts or likes listening to content better than just sitting there and reading it. Now's the time you can take to actually read out your blog post and explain it in better detail, through audio. John Loomer actually, I think he still does. He used to, at least. He records, he'll read his blog post out, and then so people who want to listen to it while they work instead of reading it have that option.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember reading something that suggested that when you release a new blog post, you should tweet it 3 times and then once every single day for 6 days. So for 7 days straight, you're essentially promoting it, and then you do that same thing over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
But then also going back to your whole relevancy point, Google rewards freshness in content. So if you have a blog post about the Pixel this year, and then obviously things will change next week, basically.
Yeah.
You just update the content on that same page versus writing a new piece of article or a new piece of content, you'll get rewarded for that.
Yeah, and now's the time too, because you have so much time, apparently. Go in and edit your old blog posts and update them. I have an old infographic one from 2017. I updated the infographic to reflect 2018, last year, and then just change the words around to reflect this year. So refreshing your old content, or getting rid of content that is crappy as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Matt was asking about email marketing. I man the chat, dude.
Oh, sorry. You're the man of the chat.
I am the man of the chat. I'm very proud of it.
Oh, okay.
So how often should you be emailing customers in the summer?
I don't know. Honestly, I just email people when I feel like it. And I know that you're supposed to do it on a consistent basis, blah, blah, blah. But I'm on some marketing people's lists, and I get emailed every day by them, which is not annoying, because if I found it annoying, I would unsubscribe, and I actually want to hear from these people. If you just think about, okay, it's summertime, but people, your clients are adults, they still have to work. They still have to, show up and read their emails every day. So, I don't know. I wouldn't really change how often you email people. I would just keep doing what you're doing and making sure that maybe you mention something about the good weather, or if it's winter, about the cold weather or something, and make it applicable. My last email, I talked about going outside and getting bitten by mosquitoes at the end. So that was here's some summary content of me talking about the sun shining and mosquitoes. So I don't think it should change. I think you should still do it on a consistent basis. Not that I'm one to talk about consistency, but people are still there. They're not going to die for the summer and come back.
So thanks for joining us on Marketing Beat. We'll be back next week on Wednesday at 11 a.m. The time conversion always.
Just say it in your time.
Oh, it's 10 a.m. PST. So 11 a.m. MST. We released the Google Ads account audit checklist. It's a fucking mouthful. Recently, and that's on the website. So if you haven't received it in the newsletter yet, because newsletter subscribers got it first, make sure you sign up for the newsletter and you will receive it. You can still get the PPC glossary. It's on the website as well. And next week we're going to be talking about why PPC should not be your whole strategy when it comes to marketing. Yeah.
I should do one on my social media.
Yeah, actually do it. It'd be a good series, I think.
Done.
And Beverley, do you have any exciting things going on?
I'm speaking in a Never mind. In September, I'm speaking at Next Big Thing. I don't know if I'm supposed to announce it or yet, but really, like, don't tell anyone I'm talking about it then. It's in September in Edmonton, and I have 2 free tickets. I was going to ask you if you want to come. So,
yeah, tell me what dates. I'll book my flight.
Okay. Yeah, so that's exciting because it's the first one in Edmonton.
Yeah. I think that's it. Is it?
New videos on Tuesday.
Yes, new videos on Tuesdays, usually released at around 9 a.m. MST. Subscribe, like, comment. And if you have any questions, feel free to slide into our DMs. And I think that's basically really it for today.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. How do I end this thing?
I don't know.